skill, rounding to the nearest hundredths place. Now, rounding is shows up in the standards in 3rd and 4th grade as an estimation strategy used in assessing the reasonableness of an answer. So it does serve a purpose. Now, in this game, it was designed for the classroom, and I usually use place value dice. So instead, we're going to use a deck of cards, and this deck of cards is inside it has ace through 9. I've taken the 10s, jacks, queens, kings, and jokers out, and aces are used as 1s. I've also created this very quick number line tool. So that way, if our number falls within 100 and 200, we've now given a visual tool for our children to be able to understand if you round down or if you round up. And it is okay to use this tool. We want them to understand the concept of rounding. And the more that they work with rounding and the more they understand that concept, then the less they're going to need to use this piece of paper. And then this game board was designed for the classroom, so each child would have their own game board, so that way the teacher could see if a child is rounding correctly the direction for the nearest place value to 100. So using this at home, we're going to change this. So this section right here is going to be player 1. And then this section over on the right is going to be player 2's column. And if you were to have a 3rd player, then you have a game board for 3 people. Okay, so since we don't have place value dice, our first card that we turn over is going to be our hundreds place. So we have 200 so far. This is worth 40. So far we have 240. And this is worth 9. So our total is 249. And using that language, parents, is very important. It helps your child really understand place value instead of just saying, there's 4 groups of 10, there's 2 groups of 10. Well, what does this mean? If this is 2 groups of 10, we have 200. We're building on that as we go. So player 1 has 249. So in looking at our chart, we're either deciding, do we go down to 200 or do we need to go up to 300? Now this is the marker for either rounding down or up. And so if it's at 249, that really means it is closer to the 200 than it is closer to the 300. And also using that language is very, very important. So since 249 is closer to 200, we're going to round down. So I'm going to look for the 200 line, and I'm going to write this number 249 because 249 rounds down to 200. It's player 2's turn. Again, we're using our language. We have 500 so far. That's worth 70. So far we have 570. And that's worth 6. So our number we're working with is 576. So I'm going to be deciding, do I stay at 500 or do I go down to 500 or am I going to round up to 600? So our number right there was 576. So 576 lands up here. 576, is that closer to 500 or is that closer to 600? That is actually very, very key language for working with rounding. 576 is closer to 600, so we would round up. 576 is closer to 600, so we round up. So that is how you play. The winner is the first person to be able to fill in their column, all their lines. Now, if I roll or if I turn over cards and it falls to round down to 200, I miss my turn because I've already filled that in. And that's just how it goes back and forth until the first person fills in all of their lines on their game board. All right, so that's how you play Round It Out. Have fun. Have a winner. Player 1 filled theirs in all the way, so they are the winner. Player 2 was very, very close. Now, another way you could play this game is if we wanted to move this around, we could make this round up to 400. We could say this rounds down to 800. We could say this rounds down to 800. Did I get all the combinations? We could say this rounds up to 500 and this rounds down to 400. So you can play differently with the cards than in the demonstration that we did. You can move them around like I just showed right here. So as long as it's agreed upon before the game, then I don't see why not use that idea. And then don't forget, this right here is an important tool. And the way I made this, I literally just did a fan folded it just like this to get my lines. And then I kind of didn't follow it because I didn't do as many as I was supposed to, but it just gave me a little bit of a guide. So anyway, round it out, have fun with it. Again, this is a 3rd and 4th grade. It shows up in the standards, and estimation is a skill children need to assess the readiness or reasonableness of an answer when they're problem solving. So, all right, have fun, enjoy.